KMO actually do this again today?
Yeah, we'll have to see if their aggression can go unpunished, because if you're aggressive and you're on form, it can pay off. But if you're aggressive and just slightly off form, that's when you get punished. And like you mentioned, it kind of snowballs from there. And what's interesting is that today KMO picked Ascent first, which is notoriously one of AE Celeste's best maps. And on the other hand, AE Celeste picked Icebox, which is the map that they dropped against KMO. So this is a mystery that we have to unravel within this best of 3, and we'll have to see if AE Celeste will continue this dominance. I think they have a game plan for sure, and they've definitely changed a little bit of their playstyle. I would say like they're a lot more calculated now instead of just unbridled aggression from the previous opens. You can see that the aggression they kind of can keep the levels go up and down, and just keeps the enemy just guessing like what tempo are you running this time around. I'm saying tempo, it's almost like Haikyuu, but no, I'm talking about tempo here in the sense that sometimes they'll be pushing, sometimes they'll be aggressive, sometimes they won't even give you a little bit of information at all. They're just such a great and versatile team that it just looks so difficult to take a map off of them. And let's see if Kid My Arc can step up to the plate today.
Exactly, actually. Tempo is such a good point because we saw it basically happen yesterday when they were playing Ascent versus Magnifique. You know, start of the rounds, start of the game even, just, all right, it's Magnifique, we don't know, let's just do our thing. Aneri's feeling it, she wants to gun them down. Always pushing in towards B main, always sending her boombot out as soon as the round starts. And after a while, all right, they change it up. They change the pace. They change the tempo. Instead of pushing B, they took a step back and let Magnifique send out their sky smokes, and then they waited. They waited until the iron was hot, and then they struck it. They pop flashed out of the sky smoke and pushed into mid instead of B. And of course, Magnifique, I don't know. I think they look a little bit tilted. They wanted to take the fight on B main. So many times they were actually lurking around B lobby. And that's where Alter Ego Celeste actually pushing out of mid caught them instead. So hopefully this time around, it's the second Thai team that's going up against Alter Ego Celeste here, folks. And it's going to be a spicy one.
Yeah, and well, KMO, we saw their logo. It's a question mark. You guys were talking about the name. It's I don't know. We don't know why they picked Ascent first, and we don't know how they'll perform. So we'll have to see if they can take this map off of Alter Ego Celeste. Again, every single time there's a side pick, it seems like the teams prefer the defensive side. So we're gonna see the defense of AE Celeste this time around, and let's see if KMO actually have the attacking prowess to actually go for these sides.
Hopefully they do, but here we go. I mean, we're already seeing the agent composition, and it's more or less actually the exact same from Alter Ego Celeste, but this time the early aggression will not pay off as Iceberg will be the first to fall, and I think followed by Aneri.
Yeah, Polly and Izengi fall as well. Just bear with us a little bit, guys. We are fixing a little bit of these technical issues. If you're seeing the delay a little bit here, but Aneri is gonna get that double kill. That's a sick double kill, and I'd like to point out a KO here. A KO on AE Celeste really shows how versatile they are. They are pretty fast. I mean, a lot of teams don't necessarily like rate KO necessarily, but you can see that AE Celeste are trying something new, and they're using it to their advantage. So now, I think it's a renaissance of the initiators here. You see KO plus Sova, which actually allows Aneri to be extremely aggressive because you have two information gathering agents, and I think it just helps a lot with AE Celeste's aggression as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it like it's a little bit hard to call out the action, but having more initiators, like you mentioned, the renaissance of initiators. At some point, initiators can actually replace duelists, unless, of course, you know, you are playing Raze. Raze is very unique in her own way. She's the one with all the booms and the explosions, but of course, right now, KMO, they do have control over the B site, and they're trying their best to play this retake. Alter Ego Celeste, it's going to be all up to Margot, and she's all the way from spawn from market. Wait, what's happening right now?
It's a bit of a time lapse. So we're actually seeing the past here catching up to the future, but the future is Margot getting that double kill. and actually secures round for AE Celeste. How does this happen again and again for AE Celeste? There's just so much clutches. Okay, we're seeing a little bit of spoilers first, but here's basically Margot playing this 1v2. It was a single peek. I think that was a mistake by KMO to peek that 1x1. A double peek would have made way better sense for me there. But Margot gets it 2 headshots with a classic. I think that's something that we're starting to see as well. The classic meta coming into play for pistol rounds. Classic plus light armor seems like the most favored buy, especially with this new meta developing right now. What are your thoughts on that?
I think, you know, it all comes down to playstyle. If you're someone who, I know, I've played with you several times, Marquis, you love to go for that sheriff buy on pistol sometimes. But yeah, if you like playing long-range duels, your Ghost would be your friend. If you love jumping in, especially if you're someone like a Neri with the blast packs and the satchels, or maybe as a Jet just dashing in, a classic right-click does so much damage. It can be very effective. But here we go, of course, Alter Ego Celeste being the winners of round number 1. This time they're going a little bit aggressive, and that kind of bites them in the back as we see KMO actually taking down 3 members of Alter Ego Celeste, and along with it, free weapon upgrades, and also the spike getting planted.
Yeah, it looks like Maymim got taken down, as well as Cine as well. Well, right now, Ayumi, it seems like the double initiator, again, is working. Like, they got the 2 kills already off that initiation. Iceberg gets taken down, but Fluffy and Izengi both get taken down as well, as down to Ayumi and versus Polly right now. See if they can get the clutch here, and Ayumi is trying to salvage this round, which was supposed to be an easy round for them, and she takes down Polly. So, double initiator, here it is.
Here it is! What more is there to say? It's so good because, I mean, at some point, having a KO is actually quite similar to having a Phoenix. You've got your flashes, maybe they don't exactly curve around, but they explode, they pop based off of timed duration, and along with that, your ultimate can be so effective as well. Aside from that, I mean, you get so much information along with the 0 point, the suppress blade, which can effectively shut down rushes. It can do so much and keep people trapped into places if you're going in with a retake. This is what Alter Ego Celeste loves to do. I mean, they read the game so well. They recognize the situation and they know that, all right, if we are down 3 players, we don't necessarily have to put up that much of a fight. In fact, we can just play retakes, and that's what they did. So round number 3 now, and we're starting to see, okay, the stream's a little bit smoother.
Whoa.
But along with that, it's going to be Polly, who actually pushes up top mid. She takes down 2, and now she's going in towards A short.
Yeah, we're catching up a little bit on the timeline here, and that punish is going to really hurt for AE Celeste. This bonus round is not much of a bonus round for them because 4 players needed to buy, and it's all down to Iceberg here. She does have a Phantom, but it's going to be 5 rifles that she has to play against, and they're all pretty much healthy with the exception of Fluffy here. Iceberg as a lone Sova, not much clutch ability here unless she just, you know, kills everyone, and Iceberg takes the first kill. Super Paul is starting to look doable. If she can get the second kill and isolate these 1v1s, she can get this clutch.
And there, she's looking for it, but 1v4 still, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. Look at all these positions that KMO are playing. Very safe, very passive. Of course, though, that's going to be 1 player down, but Iceberg's down to 8 HP as well, and that is dangerously low. Fluffy, hearing the footsteps, just goes in for a peek, takes her down with a single bullet, and that it will be KMO taking away their deserved bonus round. So 1-2 is the score line, and AEC should be buying back into the round.
Yeah, it's starting to look better for KMO. That post plant was very well played. They only found 1. It was just Polly pushing up that heaven side all the way to spawn, that where she got caught. But she got enough information for her team to know that they should just camp side main. And on a 1v5, typically if you just hide and don't give those 1v1s, you can secure the round. And for AE Celeste, they're gonna have to do some catching up because their bonus round wasn't a bonus round at all.
But, well, I think they're certainly capable of doing it, but at the same time, KMO with these nice little adaptations, knowing exactly when to peek, taking the fights down mid, it just shows that they are prepared, and they know there is a reason why they picked Ascent in the first place. Speaking of map picks and bans, something interesting to note is that Alter Ego Celeste has been banning Bind most of the time. This time around, they kind of let that slide, so it's interesting that Kid Mayork, despite playing Bind quite a bit, they decided not to go for it. So maybe choosing to take the fight to Alter Ego Celeste instead, and it shows it because Cine just finds the first frag on towards Ayumi, so you lose one initiator, no more 0 point, no more suppression. KMO, they get a little bit more freedom in this round.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good round for them. They still have 5 rifles as well, but of course I wouldn't discount out players like Ineri, who still has the Showstopper and the Sheriff as well. So if she can get her hands on a gun, it might prove to be pretty scary for KMO. Ineri trying to get the shots onto Polly, tags her once, but that's about it. The plant is going down on the A side. There's the Hunter's Fury committed as well.
Hunter's Fury to delay the plant just by a bit, but of course it's going to be used by Alter Ego to stop it even further. Ineri, Showstopper gets committed, she stops the planter, but it does get picked up back again. Cine has to get this spike planted, otherwise it's going to be all too late, and Polly has to do something in this 1v2 situation. Finds the first, but she still has to deal with Margot. 26 points of health, a single bullet will do it, and she will find it! 3rd kill in the round for Polly. And of course, the 2-2 win for Kid Mayork.
That was a great heads up by Kid Mayork. Fluffy died trying to plant the spike down, but Izengi, I believe it was Izengi, or was it Cine that quickly picked up the spike? And I think it was Cine. Yeah, she just picked up the spike and just went for the plant because they had no time to spare there. The door was already being taken down, and Polly was there to defend her. And getting that spike down just in time. Celeste played really well, though. They almost denied the spike plant, and if they did, they would have secured that round. And right now, actually, it's going to be Ayumi on the operator here. That's something that I normally see Ineri on.
Yes, very true. But Ayumi did do this yesterday, and I think she has a game plan around this. With the 0 point, she's able to get so much information. At the same time as she plays around mid, she has that flexibility to rotate around sites, and it's the place around mid is where your operator would be the most effective because of all these long-range duels. So she's keeping her eye down this entire lane. Meanwhile, the rest of the team from Kid Mayork actually pulling off a little bit of a default, and it works out beautifully because Cine again finds the first frag on towards A main.
Yeah, it's a bit of an overzealous push by Margot there. She's a killjoy, so all your utilities just stop working. Once she saw someone swing in there, she just swung wide out, and there was no one there to help get the trade frag. So I think Margot was a bit too over-eager getting that kill there through the smoke, but Cine was already ready to get that kill.
Alright, things look very good now. As I say that, it's going to be Ayumi again with a 0 point, just to get a little bit more information. Not sure if it connected though, but at the very least, they do know that it's going to be a push in towards A. All these ultimates get spent right now. It's the orbital strike, and it takes, well, basically Tarathiel down. She was unable to move. So 5v3, can the retake actually happen from AAC?
Neri goes for 1-for-1. Sliver actually gets a kill onto her. It's down to a 2v4. It's down to the initiators yet again. That shock dart is going to do some damage, but not going to kill her. Iceberg is going to finish it off with her Spectre, though. The operator is still in play. There's 2 playing in main, and there's actually 1 in short. And there's a nanoswarm being used. The operator does not hit anyone. They know where Fluffy is with that suppression blade. Ayumi trying to get out, but Sliver just takes her down, and it's going to be a clean round from KMO. That was well executed from them. And Celeste, they actually committed the operator.
Exactly. So you know what that means. Broken economy probably on this round. I mean, that's a 4,700 credit investment this time. And Ayumi was not able to use it all that much even. And it's just this nice little adaptation from Kid Mayork, knowing that, all right, maybe the aim duels won't really favor us. Instead, we're going to play this tactically. We're going to play it strategically. They bide their time instead of just pushing very aggressively in towards A main. And they're doing the same thing again. So much respect being paid to Alter Ego Celeste, despite knowing that they are probably on an eco.
Yeah, they're playing such a great default as well as she's not expecting the second one though, but Super Polly takes down Iceberg still. So that push from Celeste almost worked out, but they just couldn't hit the shots onto Super Poly. That jumping around, flailing around, saved that Reyna, and it looks like Alter Ego Celeste are still gonna have a difficult round. It isn't easy for them, but Tarathiel, that was a double headshot from that Spectre, and she gets the Vandal. Oh, gives it to an Airy. Of course, who else would you give the gun to?
This is so lovely to see. I mean, both teams, both sides, all the players, so much support and trust in their teammates. And that's why you have Aneri on the Vandal. I mean, she also has the heavy shields as well. But then again, it's a 3v4 retake. She needs to be able to find these fights somehow, but it's not going to be easy because where Fluffy is positioned, goes in for the spray, actually manages to convert a stray bullet in towards Aneri's head. And now Hunter's Fury coming in as well. It's all the way from B lobby. It's Maymem. And even further, Cine with the paint shells just delaying this push. Alter Ego Celeste looking a little bit all too late now, and Margot trapped in this position over by Boat. She's gonna get shut down. It's going to be a 4th round win for Kid Mayork.
That Hunter's Fury, and look at KMO's post plans. I think that's the thing that I really want to point out right now. Celeste have only won the pistol round post plan. After that, it's actually so difficult to win against KMO. Their post plans have improved quite a bit. That Sova, all the way on B lobby using that ultimate, bought so much time for the team. They couldn't even get into sight. Celeste, it was a 3v4. It was still doable on the side of Celeste, but they couldn't even step into the site itself. Just because of that one Hunter's Fury, I mean, some might argue that's overkill, but you can't give Celeste an inch in this matchup. KMO, they'll want to take every single round that they can get before going to the second half.
Certainly not. But at the very least, into this round, Cine does have her showstopper to play with, as well as Polly and Azangi being really close to their ultimates as well. They know that they have the advantage here, and they don't want to let it slip at all. That's why they're playing so far back yet again. But at the same time, Alter Ego Celeste, they're doing the same thing. They know that Kid Mayork, we cannot mess with them. Let's take us a little bit more seriously. They're playing very defensively this time around. Of course, this Boombot will give them the information that they need. Will we see a smoke coming out towards a main right now? Yes, we will. Tarathiel smokes it off. And down towards 50 seconds, Kid Mayork need to start to make a decision.
Now, this is a proper smoke. Like, you see a lot of people, typically, they smoke on the entrance itself. It's actually not that good of a smoke. This one is actually the best one.
Deep enough so that you can't just push in around the edge and then flash out of it. So it looks like their only option, in fact, is to go towards B. But guess what? This is where Yumi's positioned, and she already has Polly suppressed. This is information plenty for Alter Ego Celeste. Now they just need to adapt to playing around this. But wow, Azangi getting the Alt Orb will be able to deploy the lockdown. The push starts coming in. 10 seconds left. They need to make a move real quick. Margot can stop this though. She peeks around Dark. Stop the defense.
Oh, she stops the plant.
1 second left. Fluffy is unable to plant the spike. Margot saves the day. And Alter Ego Celeste wins a third round for their team.
She got 2 players as well before dying there in a 4v1. That basically, I think it was a bit too late for them to go to B there. That Nanoswarm also popping just bought enough time for the side of AE Celeste, and that's round number 3. Again, you can't give them an inch. They saved a few guns here. Okay, I'm seeing some economical transgressions here. Maymem have 7k. I'm spotting that. I see that. I see a lot of money there, but Azangi has to buy her own gun.
For those who don't know, Marquis is quite the economist. If he sees anyone hoarding a lot of credits all to themselves, not buying for their teammates, he's gonna call you out. So it actually is a very important thing, because you want to spread that wealth. It's not your economy, it's the team's economy. But regardless, they're still gonna go with it. That was an expensive round quite a bit for Kid Mayork though, because the lockdown was deployed by Azangi. They still have Cine's showstopper, and here it is. It's going to get used to push an Iceberg off in towards Tree.
It doesn't kill her though.
Exactly. In fact, Tarathiel's the one who killed Cine.
Yeah, and that was supposed to be a kill. I think they were expecting a kill rather, and Margot takes on Super Poly. It's not looking good for Kid Mayork right now. I think they're a little bit startled after that loss in the previous round. It just seems like they didn't know where to execute, and they took 2 aim balls where they lost both players, and now it's down to a 5v3.
5v3? 40 seconds left. It seems like A cannot be penetrated right now, so it's back towards B. And this is where things start to look very, very shaky for Kid Majorque because they haven't found an answer to these defenses just yet. It's the same turret placement by Margot, and she gets so much information off of this, playing off of its context. She finds the third headshot in this round, and yet another win. It's a flawless this time for Alter Ego Celeste, surviving by 5 HP, Margot.
Margot is heating up. Like, I'm just gonna say, those rounds that were won, the pistol round was Margot. The round before this, who stopped the plant? Margot. Who stopped the B push in this round that just transpired? It was Margot with a triple kill yet again. I think she's just heating up right now.
This is a name that, you know, viewers, folks, whoever's watching, you want to remember. Margot. Because it wasn't just these plays. Even yesterday, she actually had this incredible 1v3 clutch against Magnifique to win it out on Icebox. And she was really, really low HP as well. I didn't think she could do it, but she shows us and she proves us wrong. Coming into this round, though, Kid Majorque recognizing that A site very difficult to push this time around because of the adaptation from AEC. They're rushing in towards B. And in fact, they're going to go in, get the door shut down, push in towards stairs, but Iceberg with the Phantom sprays through the smoke finds one head.
Yeah, the Phantom spray as well. You can't see the tracers, so the only you only know if you're gonna get hit by the bullet once you actually get hit by it. And Sunny takes the bullet and like, yep, they're shooting through the smoke. And Ayumi gets taken down. She did have the ultimate pop though, so she can be revived. But Inari is just gonna take everyone down. Margot revives Ayumi. There's the pain shells coming out, and they take down everybody.
My God, this is such a well-calculated dismantling of KMO's post-plant defenses on the B side. It seems that they have everything planned in store in case of whatever situation, whatever comes their way from KMO. I mean, Spike gets planted, they back off fully. No problem. We can just let them in, get the Spike planted. The rest of the team just rotate over so quick, so on time, and then Ayumi goes in with the null command. I mean, this is the new agent, new ultimate. She gets down, but not out. And along with that, the rest of the team, especially players like Inari, are able to play off of her contact and secure kills quite safely.
I mean, if there's anyone that's a tank here, it's gonna be KO because she can tank like a buttload of bullets. Especially with that ultimate, right? You're basically a bullet sponge and you come back. And I think that's actually pretty interesting because it's unlike Sage where someone else has to be the bullet sponge. And basically, I think KO is just, you know, when used right, KO is an amazing agent. The Flash is amazing. The Suppression Blade is really good against agents like Jet, for example. That's why I think we're not seeing Jet in this game because it just gets discouraged. Jet, it's difficult to go against a Cypher, for example. If they do choose to pick Cypher, the tripwires are now bouncing back, slingshot you. There's a KO Suppression Blade as well. You use that ultimate. Watch this. Nope. You're going to be washing dishes instead, like that team said, because KO is just going to suppress that Jet and those blades fall down. And then there he is holding the spot, but Super Poly just checks her. That's an aim duel right there, straight up to the head of Inari. And it looks like it's going to be an A execute for KMO. They are taking their time though. The smokes are coming down. And this is where they're going to start. Try and go in. Ayumi and Triath will get one each. Iceberg pushes out on the smoke as well. And it's just an execution. It's all down to Izengi right now. It's all pushing all the way in short. But Margot takes her counterpart down. And it's going to be A Celeste with a 6-4 lead already.
My God, Alter Ego Celeste, every single side is being so well defended, and I think it's because they have the perfect reads. Inari might have been lost up towards Catwalk, but instantly you see it on the mini map. Every single one just rotates around it. They're prepared. You might even see, you know, after the initial frag, some players, Ayumi, even Margot, just rotating off of B and slowly in towards A in case that, you know, any other further information gets retrieved. But at the same time, the other three who are located on the A site, they're just so prepared. They know that it's going to be an A hit, and they make sure that they play around that perfectly. This time around, though, early aggression from Inari. She's looking to shut them down. She finds the first with the showstopper. She gets second. She gets the triple with the Phantom Spray. And now, again, looking to cut them off in case there's anyone top mid. She pushes in towards spawn. What? Locates back with a sidestep. And now looking for the ace. She's gonna get it. No! Zangi shuts her down, but Tarathiel closes it regardless. Alter Ego Celeste with the 7 wins now.
There was 11 HP left on his Zengi. She almost got that ace, but she literally held W there. Here comes the party indeed. She just started with a showstopper, held W, killed everyone, mowed everyone down, and this is the tempo change we were talking about at the beginning of this matchup. They've been playing defensive the last 2 or 3 rounds, and then all of a sudden, he decides, okay, I just want to hold W this time around. And it's like what they mentioned in the interviews. What Tarathiel mentioned that they can do whatever they want, and we're gonna make it happen. And with the help of their teammates, with the support, Inari was able to just keep pushing forward there, and they're doing it again. The Suppression Blade comes out. It's going to be a triple push. Ayumi is going to take one down. Tarathiel is going to trade as well. There's a Hunter's Fury being used. Information being taken out, and Iceberg gets to Tarathiel, finishes them off, and what?
This is insane! They're so confident, and that was the last round of the first half. They make the most use out of all of their ultimates. At first it was a showstopper, and then the Hunter's Fury. I was not expecting aggression in that round. I mean, yeah,
that was 100% well executed though.
Exactly.
That Hunter's Fury was all the way down that hallway, where normally one or two people would be just like hiding in a corner there. Like that line got her a double kill because that was planned.
Perfectly planned, perfectly calculated. And not just that, the rest of the team, I mean, players like Tarathiel, I mean, she is the IGL. She knows how this game works. She understands fully the rotations and all the positionings and information that she gets. She pushes out of mid to cut them off in case they try to fall back. And here we go, though. It's going to be the first round of the second half, and can KMO actually slow things down right now? It doesn't seem like it because of all these utilities being spent. Cindy has to fall all the way back onto site. She needs to find a safe place, but she gets spotted out by the recon even. It's just a matter of time before Alter Ego Celeste floods in through these gates. But guess what? In all that chaos, Tarathiel actually sneaked up into Garden.
She discouraged a little bit of the flank there. She shot a bullet on the way of mid-link there. So I think she actually saw someone trying to go for the flank, and now there's going to be no flank because she actually discouraged that push. I would just like to point out, KMO was 4-2 at some point, and AE Celeste won 6 rounds in a row to make it an 8-4. How amazing is this team? And they're just going to go for the contact play. Fluffy is going to take one down. That Frenzy doing some work at that range. Doesn't get a second, though. Marco and Inari take 1 kill apiece, and Sliver tries to even it out. There's a jumping classic coming out. Tarathiel takes one down on her flank, but Super Poly is going to take her down, so it's down to a 2v2 now.
Spike is planted, though. That's one of the most important things. Now they have to retake this, and it seems like they're both coming in from heaven. They get spotted out by the turret, and Margot knows exactly how to play around this, but this time misses her shots, and that allows for Super Polly to come up super big with 3 kills in this round. She gets it for her team, and along with it, a nice economical boost for her team. She might even buy out the Bulldog in the next round.
Yeah, the Bulldog, I don't know, but there's the right click, left click kind of thing in the Bulldog where it actually reduces the spray to almost nothing. That's actually really interesting. But I'd just like to point out, Margot had to play that corner because they broke the door, and they can't watch both Heaven and Short at the same time. So Margot had to play that one and done and take the gamble in that corner because it just looks weird, right? Like you're sitting in the corner there, and it's like 100% open, and you have to win that duel. But that's because nobody can look at both Heaven and Short at the same time, so they had to play that angle.
Exactly right. It's a little bit of a guessing game.
Whoa,
but here we go.
Dart.
Connects onto 2 players. That's Inari and Tarathiel. They're down to about half HP. But this is the AE Celeste aggression that they're known for. They just want to get the spike plant, and in fact, they forced bot, and they're rushing in already. Inari coming up from the other side, but Super Polly with the Vandal in this round. She gets a triple, gets shut down by Iceberg. And of course, the spike should get planted fairly soon. 3v2 retake? What are you thinking, Marky?
Well, she got 3 kills, even though she couldn't really see much of them, and I think it's going to be difficult for AE Celeste to hold on, but they do have the Vandal, though, so if Iceberg can get those nasty shots, no, she gets shut down. It's all up to Margot. She can clutch, but no. Too much for her right now. All the Spectres in close range. she didn't have a chance. And I think it was a great try by AE Celeste, but KMO are here to play, and it's 6-8 right now.
6-8. It's still close, and I mean, off of these wins, and not to mention Alter Ego Celeste, the fact that they bought up, that means that they have to basically full save in this round, or if you upgrade pistols, we're potentially seeing a 7-8.
Yeah, unless something really crazy happens on maybe Inari. She's not even buying a sheriff here. Okay, never mind. Thanks for proving me wrong. There we go. If Inari does pop off with the sheriff here, that's 5 sheriffs, by the way. So we're gonna go all high noon here. Let's see if they can hit these shots. It's gonna be a bonus round for KMO. They do buy up on 2 players because they were able to save a few. But you know, Spectres against sheriffs have a pretty good chance.
Very. I mean, they just have to play close range, but let's see how Alter Ego Celeste works around this. I mean, there is a reason why they are all 5 on sheriffs, and I think that one word that can be described is confidence. They are so confident about their aim right now that they're even going for this. And it seems like Tarathiel is letting them go do whatever they want, and that's very lovely to see. And all this respect being paid by KMO. I mean, a couple of shots sounded off, and they know that they're pushing up towards mid. Polly uses that, goes in for a pre-aimed peek, takes a Neri down, and all that's left are the 4 remaining players on the other side.
Polly has been popping off this game, by the way. Like she's been really sharp and taking Inari down every few rounds. I think is really helping her team out. Like when Inari's down, it just makes it so much easier to play against AE Celeste. Not to discount the other players, but if you're taking your star player down, that's just really it. And there's 2 kills. Tarathiel does get one of her own though. See if she can get another one here. Fluffy takes her down, and Super Polly is gonna get the last kill as well. And it's just an easy round for KMO. AE Celeste couldn't get much done there.
I mean, that's just instrumental. They read the situation perfectly, and I'm very, very impressed by Kid Mayork in this round. They hear the sheriffs, they know how Alter Ego Celeste tends to play, and they basically just let them stream into the site. As soon as they hear the door getting shut in, Fluffy knows that, okay, they're probably going to look for the spike to get planted. Let me push into them and spray my Spectre all over the place. In fact, she's able to find one, gets Iceberg down really low as well. At that point, there was nothing much that they could do, but here we go. It's Alter Ego Celeste with the buys this time around. Can they actually make it work? Iceberg will be the first to fall up towards a main. I think Alter Ego Celeste, they need to pump the brakes and think twice about their approach here.
Yeah, KMO are starting to run away with his defensive side, especially since that this Alter Ego Celeste picked defense, but it looks like KMO are also ready to defend. And Alter Ego Celeste, their offense looks a little bit sloppy right now. I mean, this is their first full buy round, right? So
first full buy round. And first person to fall is Iceberg. I don't really like that. But let's see what they've got. I mean,
you've got 2 initiators though, so Yumi still has some flashbangs.
Still doable. They let the sky smoke burn out, and now they're looking to pull off and execute. The paranoia gets committed. They take down the player over by Jenny, and now all they have to worry about is heaven and hell. The lockdown gets deployed, but they don't expect Polly to come in from the back. Lockdown's still healthy, so not too bad. Now they just need to win these duels, which they can definitely do. Tarathiel teleporting onto site. Will the spike get delivered though? They have to make it quick. 30 seconds left, and KMO are just prepping for the retake.
The funny part was Polly actually whiffed a little bit on the lockdown after she got the kill, which led her to get punished there. I think there was no rush in killing that lockdown. She could have like jiggled a little bit first, maybe slow down a little bit, but KMO is 2v3 right now and looks pretty good for AE Celeste. They take Izangi down. It's all down to Sliver, who only has a Spectre.
Oh my god, look at that pop flash!
She ate that flash. She actually like caught it with her face there.
What was
that? Was some great timing off of the flash there.
It just, oh my god, Key. It looks like perfectly planned, like clandestine, just destined to get flashed at that one moment.
Like, she's in midair. She tried to look away as well. Like, you saw her go for that 180, but it was too late.
Didn't expect it all, man.
No, not at all.
Like, wait, you flat what?
Not
Oh
like
my
this. You know the JoJo meme where it's like to be continued at the end.
Oh yes. And
Yeah,
Jimmy
that's
Tarvin coming
I'm
in.
gonna meme this.
I mean, FSL, if you guys are watching this, please clip that. Here we go. It's gonna be round number 17, and KMO, they want to take this fight. In fact, it's gonna be Margot again. One player falls first from Alter Ego Celeste, but they don't slow down at all. In fact, Ayumi with the null command just pushes in, but this time, timing a little bit off. Tarathiel has to be the one to come online. She gets 2. And the rest of the team trying to stop the plant as quick as possible. It still is not on site yet. I mean, Inari, she's stuck at this point. They use their showstopper to flush her on towards the left, and at that point, Polly just knows, I need to spray in this one direction. She gets it. It's the 8th win for KMO, and they're looking for more.
Yeah, and that was really good. That was a really quick rotation from KMO. Celeste actually, like I mentioned, if you have that KO ultimate, you could use it as a tank. Ayumi just went straight down. You use pretty much your first life as information gathering. Like you literally jump down. You're a duelist at that point. You're looking for information with your first 150 HP. Doesn't get a kill. Unfortunately, they couldn't flush out that backside fast enough. And KMO with the rotations, they were just too fast, and Celeste couldn't take control over the side there.
I love what we just saw, though, from Kid Mayork. I mean, that's perfect post-round analysis, but Zinni just shows that KMO really knows that Celeste, they can be aggressive. So what? So what? They're going to pre-fire angles at the same time, but wow, with the Sheriff, they still go in regardless. Inari looking to shut Fluffy down. She gets the first one, picks up a Vandal, and now the spike carrier has been killed on the right side. I don't think they can retrieve this, but Iceberg shuts Polly down. Immediately gets traded by Zengi. 1v2 scenario for Inari. She has her full health, she has her blast packs, but the lockdown over this one girl, she picks up the spike and backs off completely.
She has time though, so she still has
50.
Good cushion here, so she can even go B. She can take time to look for that 1v1, but that turret is gonna make it difficult for her to get in.
Yeah. Does she still want to go for this? She
No,
has
I think
30 seconds.
She wants to make them
30
think that she's
seconds
going
left.
for B.
But as soon as she
But it's not working out. Not at all.
at this point, she has to go in. And they know that she's here. They weren't budging at all. Still, though, 2 satchels. There's only 1 shock dart remaining for Mayman, and it gets spent. They took a little bit of a
10
bait.
seconds left.
And now 10 seconds. Spike goes in.
Keep
They
going for
start
the
rushing
double
her
heaven.
down. It all comes down to timing. Oh! She goes in for a little bit of a pre-aimed peek, but unfortunately the vertical angle just throws her off. She was unable to get the headshot. And of course, Maymem just sprays her down. It's tied up 9-9. What are you thinking at this point, Key?
I'm very impressed with KMO right now. Like, Polly especially, she's just popping off, and I think on the side of Celeste, we're gonna need to see a little bit more of heroics from Inari here. Polly's been popping off, and they just need to shut her down. I think she's been flanking a lot actually on that Reyna. She definitely needs to be shut down first, and I think they should look to hunt her down and, slow her down a little bit.
I think you're absolutely right. Polly has been playing mid very, very often, but on the other hand, Alter Ego Celeste, they've been looking to gain so much map control, especially very early on in towards places like B main, A main, and this time around it's going to be mid, which means that they neglect B main. Excuse me, and it allows for Polly to find the first frag.
Yeah, exactly, and they should just really be punishing Polly here. She's been going for those aggressive peaks, aggressive pushes, and she's just not getting punished. I think she's gotten quite a few first bloods in this game. I'd like to say at least 6 now. Even that peek on Inari onto short, on the attacking side, she's still playing really aggressive. Look, the rest of Kid My Orc stay in one spot, and there we go. There's the punish. Inari takes Super Poly down. She likes this spot actually. She lost to Super Poly here earlier on their eco. Okay, that's information. They know where Fluffy is. And Inari is gonna go for this push. She just starts to go in Hunter's Fury. Gonna spot her out. The second one isn't gonna be used though. There's a blast pack being used. Wow. As well. Sliver takes 1 kill though. Margot takes Zinni down. That was
30
straight
seconds
onto the mid market. And now Sliver is gonna hold this down. There's the ultimate being used as well. Sliver with a 5th kill. Margot takes it down though, but Izengi is gonna take Margot down, and KMO are back in the lead. What is going on here? I don't understand.
I think it's just we're seeing it every single one of these moves. It's just so conscious decisions from Kid Majorque. Every time that Alter Ego Celeste makes even a little bit of a move, Polly, she's very aggressive. That's perfectly fine, and I mean that is what she's known to do that we've seen so far. But she's aggressive. If she loses, it's okay. At the very least, it's information from Kid Majorque, and because they're playing defense, all they need to do is to, improvise and then play around that. And that's why, once they saw that kill in towards deep market, they made a guess, and they knew that, okay, it's probably going to be an A push. The players who are playing around B push, sorry. The players around A heaven just rotated back in, and Neri, she was kind of in a prime position to slow down, cut them off on the rotate. She tried to do it with the blast pack, but the rest of the team were just unable to deal with Mayman. First things first, Hunter's Fury. Second, shock darts, the Vandal sprays. It's just a little bit all too difficult.
Yeah, it's just great rotations from KMO. Also great opening kills by Polly there, and Alter Ego Celeste. I don't know what they can do right now. They should. I think they're not.
Eyes up.
They're not employing the right tempo to go against KMO. KMO is the one that's kind of messing things up for them.
Definitely so. I mean, even if Polly dies, they're still losing, but regardless, yet again with the B main aggression from Alter Ego Celeste, they take the drone down, they should be able to work around this. In fact, they look like they want to execute into this site. The lockdown gets deployed, flushes Mayman in towards stairs. Iceberg will be cut them off and rotate. They push it past the sky smokes, and finding that first frag, so crucial. They actually are able to get the spike down pretty soon now. Actually, wait, Tarathiel TPing back? She's pulling off a little bit of a fake? No.
But no one hears that. Wait.
That was weird.
Did it leave this? Okay, I'm a bit confused as to what just transpired there, but it's still looking pretty good for AE Celeste. No Killjoy ultimate, no ultimates inside of KMO, so it's gonna be a 5v4 retake here, which is almost impossible.
Spike down A. Spike planted. Be in sight. Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Out of charges. Placing sentry. Placing swarm grenade.
Spike planted.
Swarm grenade out.
Last player standing.
Sorry to spoil the party.
Against A Celeste.
That was such a coordinated push coming from the 3 remaining members of Kid My Orc. I mean, Maymem, Cine, I was really terrified because looking at their utility, it wasn't exactly the healthiest, but Cine just dumped everything into that one push. I mean, initially was the paint shells and then the satchels to push herself in. After that, I mean, they were making a little bit of noise towards stairs, and that just distracted Alter Ego Celeste back at them. Meanwhile, Fluffy and Azangi push in, continuing with Cine's aggression. It's just peak after peak, and they were actually winning out these duels.
Yeah, Celeste not gonna fall for this spray this time around, but Inari does take a few bullets. There's the pain shells coming out as well. She might just get tagged here. Okay, Inari all the way down to 58 HP.
Oh my god.
Great. That's great use of. I just like to point out that utility usage has been on point this series, like from both sides. And here's Super Poly with a flank again.
Oh
There's the bot though. That bot is gonna spawn her out. Oh, it's Raphael! Great timing there. That was, yeah, that's a free Vandal. I mean, she's the only one who didn't have a gun there, and she just quickly upgrades. And they know that B is compromised. She goes all the way into B, but her teammates will still take a while before getting there. They're not sure where she is though. They do have some inkling that she's somewhere in B.
Might be a bit of an over-rotation from the rest of the team, if I'm to be honest, but guess what? They're still pushing in regardless. I want to see where Maymem is positioned, though, and I think that's somewhere towards Canoe. She actually stops Inari from coming in, but Spike gets planted regardless. So 4v4 retake key.
It's a 4v4. Oh, Sliver is Maymem. I was wondering who Sliver was, and I wasn't looking on the left.
Oh, walk down.
And Ashley gets destroyed.
Okay, that's lineups for sure, but Sliver or Maymem, she's got lineups up her own. She's got the 4th frag in this round. It's all up to Margot to stop. She hears them coming in. Oh, they line up, but she is unable to spray. Zengi closes this out with a headshot. It's match point.
For KMO. It's match point for KMO. I know why they're picking Ascent now. This is their map pick, and A Celeste, I think their economy is pretty shot too.
Yeah, I mean, it was the all-in for them. That's why we saw some of them on Spectres. The fact that they committed so much into the round prior, you know, ultimates, weapons, now you're even seeing some of them on light shields with the Spectres. It's now or never. Are we going to see an overtime, or is KMO actually going to take this 13-11?
Gonna have to see if A Celeste can pull this back. Okay, they do have some guns, some light armors, and a little bit of a not complete buy here for A Celeste, but they do have the guns.
Well, these guns actually help them though. So far, it's been Kid My Orc with this little bit of aggression in towards B main. Just a couple of peeks, and then Cine pushing deep into Wine. She commits a showstopper, but immediately Margot with the parkour B hops away in towards Deep Gelato. The rest of the team, though, they're not moving at all. They're waiting for Polly's push, but this time around, she's not moving at all. 50 seconds left in the round, and Alter Ego Celeste, this bit of tug of war from KMO just keeps them guessing.
Yeah, and you can tell they're tense. The fast executes aren't there anymore. I'm not sure if it's a trend in tempo or just some respect
30 seconds
for
left.
KMO, but they're really having a difficult time getting to these sites. And with Inari on just to share it here, it's gonna be not very easy for them. As I say that, she gets a kill onto Fluffy. And Cine is going to trade that one though, but Tarathiel is going to take Cine down. It looks like they're going to be able to take this side. It's 4v3 retake, but Pauly and Zengi are still up. And of course, Mayhem with those shock darts. Still going to be scary.
Very, very scary. 0 Point gets information. And along with the glass being broken, it's just question marks for a Zengi. She knows that there's one around here. The lockdown just makes it even more obvious. She wants to take Margot down, but look at the movement from this girl. She goes in, sidesteps, and
No!
It's
Overtime!
12. We're overtime in the very
Switching
first
sides.
map of the day!
Overtime.
I'm cursed with first maps. My first casts have always gone to overtime. I think this and the previous open.
Drop. Thanks.
And you know, I don't know what to say there. You mentioned it, Margot with the movement, weaving in and out there. That looked almost like she was a boxer, like weaving in and out, getting those shots in, putting that turret down, putting the lockdown down. Just bought so much time and just confused KMO. It's now down to 12 to A Celeste are not out of this map yet.
Dude, I was biting my fingernails watching that, but alter ego Celeste, this is insane. And I have to say, it's Margot with her little play just up around guarded, around catwalk. She actually stopped the one player who's looking to take the lockdown away. And of course, Iceberg as well, just finding the other kill in that round. This is overtime, round number 1. Let's go. What will they do?
Back to the defensive side for A Celeste and KMO. You know, when you're playing defense for like 12 rounds in a row and then suddenly overtime switches you around, it's like switch tempo. Like you have to be really quick in changing your mindset. And for KMO, they're taking it slow right now. And A Celeste, you can tell that they're pretty shook. They're not playing that aggressive this time around. They're playing 2-1-2, but they're not pushing out. They're not getting that much information yet.
Yeah, not a single move has been made, but as soon as I say that, it's going to be Pauly who pushes in towards mid, actually. She finds one, but then Inari goes in with a counter aggression, followed by Iceberg. Pauly, she has found her kryptonite. It's going to be Cine who makes it a trade, though. 2v2 at this point, as Cine finds yet another, this time with the paint shells.
Yo, that yeet with the paint shell, she just yeeted that paint shell all the way to that corner. That was great use of utility from Cine. And Iceberg and Inari, if they just survived that first 2 kills, I think this would have been a way better situation for A Celeste. Let's see if they can find Mayhem here, hiding in the corner. If they don't check this corner, it could spell room for them. Margot gets taken down. Tarathiel, though, trades. And there's a showstopper, so she has to run. There's the threat of the showstopper there. She actually... Did she get a tag there? Okay, there's the showstopper.
Right. Still has time, though. Showstopper, she was waiting down to the very last second before she used it. Now she's thinking it's a push from main, but Tarathiel just kind of checking that corner, pushes around the other side. Now surely Cine knows this, but somehow doesn't hear the footsteps. Tarathiel gets a kill for free, and now the spike gets defused. 13-12. Cine just so distracted by the shot from stairs.
Yeah, that shot from stairs, and she just stayed at one side, and at some point you're going to be guessing, right? Like, is it gonna come from the left or the right? And I think what you could have done better there was to actually push out. Like, if you peek out a little bit, I think that might at least give you a little bit of information. Like, you peek out towards the stairs and then look to your right, like they're coming, because you know Tarathiel is gonna hunt for you. And I think that A Celeste are finally hitting their stride here. Let's see if on the attacking side they can still get this. Cine has been a monster on this A side hold with Fluffy as well. And there's all the utilities being used again, but Inari is going to trade 1 for 1.
Very nice little exchange. The rest of the team backing off. They're slowing things down a little bit, but the rotates have come through on towards the A side. If Tarathiel actually checks into B main and calls it clear, though, that would be very detrimental for Kid Mayork. Margot picks up the spike. She's actually taking it towards B main now. Iceberg just possibly selling a little bit of a ruse. And Kid My Orc, they're banking on a Zangi's utility on the B side to get all the information that they need. A Yuumi just checking a little bit better with the 0 point in towards mid. It should
a
have
bit too
told
far?
KMO a little bit something though.
Is Zengi a bit too far from her turret?
I would think so, but I'm not sure, right?
Yeah, it's one of those like it's almost there kind of thing.
At the very edge, but guess what? The smokes come forward anyway, and now that the turret has been deleted, she should know it. Still, Nanoswarm being deployed. This pushes Tarathiel in towards stairs. They actually let them slip. The spike gets planted, and look at where Iceberg is positioned. Potential flanker.
Oh, there's the alarm bot though. Oh no. So she gets spotted, but it's gonna buy them a lot of time. Maymim is gonna keep looking behind right now, and she's actually rotated all the way to main already.
Well, they're still, despite that, pushing in towards lane. Ayumi takes the first frag, and Maymim trades it back in towards Iceberg. Flanker gone. They don't have to worry about it anymore. I mean, they have to focus all their efforts into this one fight. It's all up to Tarathiel, who is unable to stop Maymim's onslaught quadra in this round. She earns her ultimate and brings us into a second overtime right now. 13-13.
That's the second time she's gotten a 4K on this B retake, and honestly, if you see Maymim on the server, don't hide in backside because those shock darts are gonna land, and it seemed like it landed yet again, bringing it to a second overtime.
That is so true. It's just, you're always paranoid. You hear that little shock dart sound coming in from the top, and it just catches you. It either pushes you out of position, and there isn't a single spot that is safe, especially towards the back of B side. This is so calculated from Kid My Orc's players, but here it is. Alter Ego Celeste back on the defensive side, and now Ayumi gets a little bit more information. But Polly still looking for those frags, goes in for a couple more peeks. EEC though, hearing all of this, they're not moving. They're waiting for a move from KMO.
Yeah, they know where Inari plays. I think Polly just kept looking at that spot, trying to challenge Inari there.
Whoa.
But Super Polly does get taken down by Yumi. This time around, in the previous attacking side for KMO, they took Ayumi down that long mid corridor, and now Ayumi is the one that takes Polly down, and it's looking pretty good for AE Celeste, I must say.
Well, numbers advantage for sure. 4v5. I mean, if they actually rush into a side, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but they have to make it count. So, first Sky Smoke in towards Heaven, Boombot in towards to check the corners. They have to make a move in. They spot Tarathiel out by Generator, but haven't shot her down yet. There it is. The firing squad makes it count. And now they're going in to get the spike planted. But look at how AC are positioned, though. They're just waiting for this. Ayumi finds the first one in this retake, but unfortunately falls to Maymim. She is so online right now. Door hasn't been shut. In fact, it might have been shot down. And that's the worst thing in the world because Spike Carrier killed at this point. And they're looking for a Neri. Maymim finds the frag. 13 HP. Doesn't have time. Wants to fight Margot. Actually wins. 4th kill in the round, and Margot loses the duel, dropping from Heaven. KMO 14-13.
That was the timing. Margot was dropping down and couldn't get the reset. She just needed one bullet to land, and that's the difficulty with the Vandal because the spray just goes out of control after you're shooting a few shots. She shot like 5 bullets on the way down, and just couldn't recover. She just needed one bullet to land.
Man, that's so unfortunate. She had the advantage, but went in for the drop, and that just allowed for these kills to come through. Now, Alter Ego Celeste back on towards attack. Remember, this is the side in which they didn't perform so well, but can they do it around? They commit the utility in towards Wine. They find the first frag, and along with that, they take Cine down. A side is open, but the rotates have already been made. Shock Dart to delay it even further as well. Very well timed by Maymim. They stream onto site though, and they're looking to get the spike planted. It's a 3v5 retake key.
Yeah, okay, I was gonna say this is gonna be dangerous because they don't know where Inari is, but I think the Owl Drone actually spotted her. I'm not sure if they actually spotted. It was on the rightmost side of the Owl Drone, so they did spot her out. But Izengi makes it 3v4.
Now they're looking to push off of that. Still though, all these raining bullets in towards Polly. They will find her. And off of the information that they earlier retrieved, they will be able to take a Zengi down. 14-14 now. Nice hold. Nice early aggression from Alter Ego Celeste. And it's going to be overtime number 3.
We are in for a ride here. This is just map number 1, and KMO are really making Celeste work for this. And I really didn't think it would be this close.
This is map 1. I don't know what to expect from map 2, Key. This is incredible, but here we go. Start of the round again, and Alter Ego Celeste are back on the defense, remember? In the second overtime, KMO actually won it.
Yeah, his teams are just both like trading blows left and right here. Alter Ego Celeste looked a lot cleaner on that attack this time around. I think there's a little bit of observer bias here. Wherever the obs is watching actually wins the round. Like seriously, over time we were watching the defensive side just now, and then when we watch Celeste on the attacking side,
I'm gonna just say that is good observing because we love to see the winning POV. But regardless, look at the mini map right now. KMO already 1 minute in. That's about 30 seconds gone, and they haven't quite made a move. They're playing it so safe. They're expecting a little bit of aggression from the defensive side of AEC, but AEC aren't moving either. Very stationary. In fact, Inari peeking down mid around this time now, she can call it out to her team that this could be a push either towards A or B.
Yeah, okay, they know to pick. Look at Ayumi.
I think the 0 point just confirmed it. Exactly. Ayumi with that one play just sold it completely. 30 seconds. Kid My Orc need to push in right here, right now. The blast pack already in towards stairs. And it's just going to be AEC actually letting them take it. So 5v5 retake, Key. What do you think of this?
I don't like 5v5 retakes for the defending side because it's 5 in a site. Typically, you go for a 5v2 or 5v3 when you're taking a site. And a 5v5 retake just makes it really difficult to watch every single angle.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. I'm very worried about B main right now, but Ayumi makes it a little bit less worried as she goes in, finds Polly, but the trades come forward. Inari will be able to make it even. All that's left is a Zengi on the site itself. The rest of the squad just descending upon them. And Alter Ego Celeste takes yet another win. This is the second in a row, and they're at 15-14.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, I really hate 5v5 retakes, but Celeste looked like SWAT team. SWAT team right there. They just took every single one of them down. That was
flash, especially, dude.
That was so clean. Yeah, pop flash into B main, take the 2 down on B main, and then take the 4v3 into the site and just clear it. That was very clinical. That's the Celeste I'm used to seeing, and that was an amazing round from them.
Say though, like, I mean, you talk about clinical. I don't think that flash even actually blinded Polly at all.
It went into the smoke.
She turned away. The sound cue was enough to kind of force Polly to turn around back. But here it is. Cine has been playing this position for many rounds, especially in towards the second half now. Early aggression in towards A main, and this time it's looking to get punished. Oh, so angry. They read this perfectly, and again, same 2 early kills now. And along with it, the control over the site. Iceberg, though, senses that maybe Garden isn't quite clear yet. She's waiting for her team to call it out. Now the spike gets planted. 3v4 retake. Can KMMO push us into a 4th overtime?
Look at Tarathiel, though. She's doing all the small things. She's making sure no one is going for the flank. Taking the troll over tree. Oh, they have the ultimate on Ayumi as well. That's so dangerous right now. And there's Tarathiel getting the kill onto Tree Room, and Celeste are poised to take this game. Maymem alone here, but no shock. One shock dart left. She takes another one down. Oh, gets taken down by Ayumi. KMO unfortunately fall to Celeste. But wow, that was such a game.
Such a game, Marky. You said it. Those 3 words just described perfectly my reaction, my face even. 16-14. This is the first map of the day. First map. And you're seeing a very nice adaptation, actually, from Alter Ego Celeste. They are starting to read. I mean, it took them a while, but Kid My Orc playing the same exact card, especially in towards overtime, it kind of became textbook. I mean, always with Cindy in towards A main, and it's just a Yumi playing perfectly around that. You see how she goes in for those pre-aimed peaks. She takes her down. They push into A site, and like you said, clinical, Marquis. They do it again with surgical precision.
Yeah, the point as well at some point an initiator becomes a duelist, and that was a Yumi in that last round. She just went in there. She took the first two contacts, gets those 2 kills, opens up the site for the team, and it's just alter ego Celeste. You can tell with every single passing round, they adjust a little bit just to get that small edge over and over again until they won that. And that props to Kid My Orc though. That was really close. This was their map pick though, so for AE Celeste to take game number 1, it's pretty dangerous for Kid My Orc.
So dangerous, dude. I mean, like, you're seeing a very nice, maybe a little bit of counter strats, maybe a lot of homework done by Kid My Orc. And that's why, Tarathiel, even in that interview, she mentioned that a lot of these teams are improving. They don't want to get left behind. So even though they make the adaptations on towards Icebox, I think that's a map that Kid My Orc, having won against them in the last month's FSL Open 4, it's something that either you're prepared for it or Kid My Orc will be able to pull off the same thing. The question is, with KO in towards AEC's roster, AEC's composition this time around, will that be the difference? What do you think, Key?
Yeah, I think they have some room to experiment. They have enough circuit points to actually make it to elite. So the KO is definitely something that they could play around with, and it's looking to be effective. Like, I see the idea. I see what they're doing. They get so much information because for a team that's as aggressive as AE Celeste, one way to empower the duelists or the top fraggers or whoever has the hot hands, because it can be anyone. It's not always just Inari, right? Information. Getting the information from the KO suppress blade, getting the information from Sova, information going on the side of AE Celeste. They can play off of that information and string those rounds in. Look, sure, it looked a little bit shaky right now. With I think typically they run either like maybe a Sage or maybe a double duelist even. But I think once they get the flow of this double initiator lineup, it'll get better.
Yeah, I mean, it's already looking pretty good. With time, it'll only get better. But Kid My Orc, aside from that, in their interviews, in the little bit of homework that we did, they did mention that they actually prefer to play Sky as an initiator. On Ascent, we didn't really see that. In fact, I think what we saw instead was Maymem on the Sova. So I think we might be able to expect some differences in agent compositions, but it's going to be a very interesting one, guys. I promise you this. You just saw it. First map, overtime 3, almost 4, 16-14. And this is only going to get better. Don't peel your eyes away from the monitors because we're going to go for a quick break. But right after that, it's going to be Icebox, KMO versus Alter Ego Celeste. And welcome back, folks. You just saw, I think, the craziest game that I've ever seen in FSL Valorant history. 3 overtimes just in the first game of the day alone, and we went 16-14 in favor of Alter Ego Celeste. Next map up is going to be Icebox. What are your thoughts on this, Key?
I think Icebox, it seems like maybe Celeste are trying to conquer their demons because Icebox is one of those maps where they, besides Breeze, where they actually dropped 2 maps, and that was just in the last open. So if they're ready for this, and maybe with the KO, maybe the Suppression Blade, I think actually really works well for Icebox, because the problem with Icebox, a lot of corners on the A side. On B, there's a lot of long range spots that you have to kind of like look out for. Maybe KO is the answer for that for them. We'll have to see. But it looks like they really want to go for Icebox. I mean, they could have picked Haven. They don't like Bind. They could have easily picked Split even, but it looks like they just want to go for Icebox this time around.
Yeah, it really does seem that, there has to be a reason why they're so adamant about going into this one place, this one map, Icebox. They picked it yesterday, and they picked it today again. But I think they have a very good reason, and KO might be right, because yesterday when they played this, you saw players like a Yumi. I mean, she has been the one that has been picking KO. So the Suppress Blade in towards a site like A, it basically locked Magnifique down. They were unable to deal with it until they started making adaptations, shooting it down. But at the same time, if they do that, it kind of allows for AE to actually push up instead. So there are so many of these little things, these ebbs and flows, gives and takes that you have to consider, but we can only see it happen in the game itself. But I do want to point out, it has been super, super lovely to see everyone in the chat. We might have suffered a couple of technical difficulties, but everyone's so supportive, everyone's so positive, even casting for us through the chat key. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I think the players themselves from other teams are here as well. Even the Alter Ego coach, Sleepy Studios, is in. So say hi to each other, everyone. And Susu Kid My Orc and Susu Alter Ego Celeste. Not in Filipino, not in Tagalog. That means a different thing apparently.
Yeah, and well, wait a minute. There's no Viper on the side of A Celeste, and it looks like they're going for something else this time. This looks like a classic lineup.
Whoa. Okay, now I'm having second thoughts.
Yeah,
Choose
like we
your
were talking
agent.
about KO on Icebox, and it seems like they're just gonna go for the comfort picks here with Inari on the Reyna, Ayumi back on the Jet. This could be a duelist.
Well, at the very least, I want to say that I don't hate it, because this is Alter Ego Celeste's style. I mean, I think they do whatever they feel the most confident or comfortable with. Maybe on the first map, winning it that close kind of signal to them that, you know what, this puts Kid My Orc, you see it in their team logo, question marks in our heads. Maybe KO isn't the answer anymore. Maybe we got to default back to what we played previously, and I guess Jet and Reyna, I don't know. What do you think about Jet and Reyna on Icebox Key?
Reyna does pretty okay job of being able to clear those corners. The Leer does work pretty well, especially in long ranges, better than short, because it's a short sight, not actually a flash. So that's the difference there. The Leer is particularly good going to B. And Ayumi is no slouch of her own, so her being on the Jet is definitely something we've seen before. We've seen her be lethal on it, and it really is just up to their game plan. And I think maybe being on the attacking side first, they wanted to go for this double duelist lineup.
Well, double duelist, no slouches. We know that an area Yumi at this point is pretty much established in the entire FSL Valorant League that these two girls have been very, very deadly. In fact, they have the 2 highest average combat scores on their team alone. Inari actually highest average combat score in the entire FSL Valorant League. But I don't know. I mean, we got the Viper, we've got Cine on stage as well. This can be quite dangerous. We saw Magnifique actually using Viper quite effectively. The one round that they won against Alter Ego Celeste on this map was due to the Viper's pit that they had. This time though, Polly getting stuck on the Zipline has to drop off down to 13 HP. Thankfully, the heal is there to top her off, but they've lost control over the A site. Spike gets planted, and Ayumi holding this off angle doesn't connect her shots.
Yeah, one thing to point out as well is Zengi, Cinny, and Fluffy have changed roles. Mayhem as well.
Wow, I just now noticed that, but it actually works out pretty well because look at this aggression. Fluffy just holding W, pushing in towards deep pipes, and finds the headshots regardless. That's the third kill for this girl, but the spike has already been defused. Iceberg, I'm sorry, but your ice melted a little bit too late, and the hot hands, I think, are a little bit gone from Alter Ego Celeste.
I think the post ban just wasn't there for them. The biggest problem as well is that if you go for a 5v5 retake, it gets a bit more difficult. So typically when you go 5 attackers into the site, you take 1 or 2 down. Then it becomes a 3v5, 3v4, or maybe it's a trade. They just didn't get into position fast enough, I think. And
exactly.
Again, the agent shuffle is quite interesting from the side of KMO.
Well, this time they get punished for it. Alter Ego Celeste. They lose first round, but they still buy up anyway. And it's going to be the musket that you love to talk about, Key. The Marshall this time around has been become pretty darn effective in episode 3. You don't even need to scope in, just shoot it again and again. The fire rate is actually pretty darn decent. So 5v3, they get the spike down. Mayhem pushes out from rafters. Cinny along with this though, with the Spectres, the firing squad might just be able to make this work.
Oh, but Ayumi has a Marshall of her own. That wall though is gonna block the spike.
Well, they are using it. She tapped it. Ayumi trying to make the best, coming in from the other side. The right clicks will not ring true, but Mayhem is down to 2 HP. Iceberg goes in for the recon and then peeks off of it with the Sheriff. She closes it out, and AE Celeste take it back 1-1, and now the economy is basically messed up for Kid Mayork.
Yeah, that round number 1 didn't phase them at all. They just went blazing into the site, getting that plant down. That wall was really creative in blocking the spike, though, I must admit. But it made him pay. Like, Ayumi had to use that updraft, and Mayhem just caught her, like, just played into her plans there. And unfortunately, Iceberg played that clutch really well with that recon bolt. Getting that information, getting her off the spike and into her crosshairs is just great play by Iceberg. But on the side of AE Celeste, that's just the aggression that we're used to seeing from them.
So used, but yeah, again, it just shows that Sage actually is very effective on Icebox. I mean, you have so many different uses for the wall. I mean, people tend to think, you know, Sage, healer, slow orbs, whatever. I think the most important thing about Sage is her wall, and like you mentioned before on one of the previous casts, Key, the artificial corners that you can create. And you saw it, you know, even in that retake, just putting it down there, even though they lost, it worked beautifully enough. Aside from that, though, I want to note that we talk about 5v5 retakes, and both sides actually are quite fond of playing around that one strat, if you want to call a 5v5 retake a strat. It all comes down to, like, yeah, numbers alone, it's very messy, can be very dangerous. But when you factor in things like timing, positioning, if the 5v5 happens before the spike is planted, it might actually work out depending on how well you win out these duels. But here we go, round has started, and Fluffy is looking to take this on with early aggression. The Marshall, she finds her first headshot, tops herself off, but backs off as well.
Yumi actually tags her with a Marshall of her own.
Spike down.
That is so dirty. She just goes in for the peek. This is the musket. It's just civil war right now as we're looking at Fluffy getting the shots, but Yumi will actually spray through the smoke, finds her as well, as Zangi peeks off her contact and turns this into 4v2.
Yeah, that single Marshall is making this difficult for AE Celeste. They still have the guns though, so these automatic guns should net them a few kills. Margot takes another one. Iceberg gets tagged down a little bit. There's the shock dart coming out. They don't know where Sliver is though.
Enemy remains.
Sneaking up here with a frenzy. Takes 2 down, and that's Both teams are winning rounds they shouldn't be winning right now, and Fluffy with it, Marshall with a musket, finding those heads really enabled that round for Kamo.
Dude, what just happened? This was a round where the buys were messed up for Kid Mayork. And with the
no
Marshalls alone, this is ridiculous. Name him.
4 classics in a Marshall? How did they make that work?
It's incredible, and I think the answer to your question, how, is because of the A side alone. I mean, to start things off, Fluffy very deadly with the Marshall. Right now, they're going for the door again. This time, Ayumi wins with a shot.
That was a no scope. The second shot was a no scope.
Oh, and then she gets her Blaze Storm. Oh, now they're
Topped up with
going
a heal
in, the
as
full
well.
Executes. There it is. So they have to be very cautious about how they play around this site now. So far, they've been looking to stifle the plants, even coming in with the retakes. Polly goes in with the push of her own, has to updraft and tailwind away. But the push goes in regardless. As Zengi coming online now, finds the second, gets traded by Aneri. It's a 2v2.
Yeah, that was just insane gunplay there from both sides. Polly getting that frag, and Ayumi with the Marshall as well. You live by the Marshall, you die by the Marshall, and it's gonna be a post plant here. Inari gets the first frag. The Hunter's Fury was committed as well to get Super Polly off of the plant. They know she's low. They just need the pistol drop.
Are you serious? What is this?
They both whiffed.
What is this?
I'm not sure what's going on. They're just trading rounds right now.
Are we simple right now? This is what?
Look at this. Look at the no scope. That was a no scope.
What is this? What is this? This is no scope. You can't do this.
That's illegal. But Fluffy with the Marshall again.
This is not FSL group stages. This is the playoffs. But they're doing it anyway. Fluffy with the Marshall again. It just proves that it's such an effective weapon in this episode. But the early zipline will be able to give off a bit of information. They play around it. This time misses her shot, and then Yumi finds it, opens the site up. Polly will not be able to hold it down. As Zengi on the other side from the top of rafters though, will not be able to slow it either. Shock Dart was committed, and I don't think it connected at all.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, it's gonna be no backstab as well. Then he actually gets taken down, and Mayhem. Oh, that's actually a 4K for Ayumi here. Ayumi on that jet. You know, what you said in that last round really stuck to me. At some point, the initiator turns into the duelist, and it's literally this time. She just picks jet, and then well, she has 10 kills already. That's 2 kills per round. Look at her combat score, 491 right now. What is that?
Oh my god.
I mean, we're only 5 rounds in, but still, like, getting a 491 combat score is pretty insane.
Here.
I know. And look at along the ultimates as well. They are very close to getting 4 out of 5 ultimates for the side of Ultimate Celeste. Meanwhile, Kid Mayork, though, they have theirs ready as well. 2 out of 5 of them at the very least. Fluffy finding this first opening pick, it's just very indicative of the counter-aggression coming in this time around. The operator will be able to lock this site down, but Ayumi's looking to shut it down regardless. Finds Polly and comes back around the other side. Hunter's Fury will be able to take Iceberg down though, so Sova versus Sova, and Zengi comes out on top.
I don't know if they have the utility to flush this operator out, so I think they're second guessing to the A side. They still have a lot of time, 57 seconds in the clock.
You gotta keep in mind that was about the 3rd or 4th round that Alter Ego Celeste actually go in with a bit of an A execute. And it's just Kid Mayork playing around that.
I think it's been all 5 rounds already.
Ooh, yeah, actually. So it's a little bit too telegraphed, and now things are slowed down so much. With Cine watching down mid, they will not be able to rotate, so their only option is to creep up site. But interestingly enough, Fluffy actually backs off and allows them to get the spike down. It's going to be a full 4v3, make that a 4v2 retake.
It's gonna be a res though, so Iceberg is gonna come up. Here's a tempo change we're talking about. That's how they got the spike into the site. That tempo change, slowing it down.
They slow it down, and I don't know if that's good for Alter Ego Celeste, because look at this. They actually wall it off again. Don't even need to use the Viper's Pit, and it's just Fluffy connecting her shots. That's the second one. Will she get the third? It's Ayumi trying to stop the defuse, but she doesn't get it.
Oh, she wanted to go for the exit frag. Unfortunately, Mayhem takes you down, and it's 3-3 right now. Look, we went to overtime the previous map, and it looks like they want to go for overtime yet again. I mean, it's still early to call it, but it's just so close. They've just been... No team has gotten a 2-round lead yet.
It happened earlier on in the first game as well. Both sides just all so close. But I think once they start to adapt to it, and then you see the lead coming in, that should tell you that things are starting to change. But here we go. Alter Ego Celeste back in with a full buy, but Fluffy's still holding on to her operator. This is just very... I want to say almost impenetrable for Alter Ego Celeste, because take a look at how map control plays out. Every single site has been locked down. Viper's Pit on B, the wall up towards Tube, even A site has players positioned around it. Alter Ego Celeste looking to make a push there on towards A, but what? Neri? What kind of a Ferrari peak was that? Operator gone, and now Polly just makes it a trade. Actually holds down the A site. The spike gets dropped, and that is huge for KMO.
No, but Iceberg evens it out. The whiff from Ayumi actually uncharacteristic, allowed Polly to get that kill, but they do have the Sage Rest, so Fluffy is back up. But they're gonna have to go for an A retake here because A site is completely free.
Spike getting planted because it's free like VCT, but the rotates are going to be stopped by Margot here. Double kill. TP's away.
Pulls the carpet from under them.
Where is she? Where is she? Zenki and Fluffy now. Keep in mind, Operator with this retake is not the easiest thing in the world, but taking down Iceberg will just even up the odds by a bit more. Margot still has a full kit though. Goes in for the peek, right around an angle that they don't expect, but Fluffy picking up the Vandal and just peeking at the right time, crouch spraying it, and then KMO comes out on top.
I felt frustration there for Margot. She almost got the clutch there. That last shot, unfortunately, couldn't stick it. And KMO take the lead again, and it's really close though for both sides. It's just both teams are playing so well, and this game is just so close.
So close. I mean, I said that it was a crouch spray, but it actually kind of reminds me of a bit of a Zentaris peek, because she goes out wide and then crouches. That's why Margot missed her shot, I think. If it was, you know, strafe shooting, perfectly standing still,
that would have been a headshot.
Yeah, exactly. But you're seeing the crosshair placement as well, and that's why it's all these tiny little things that push KMO a little bit further. Alter Ego Celeste, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're really good as well, but in these clutch situations, it has been so nerve-wracking. But here it goes. It's round number 8, and they're looking to change things up a bit. They want to push into B, but the Viper, the toxic screen, it's slowing them down.
Yeah, Yumi, just to point out, she bought a Marshall because she wanted to use Blade Storm, so she did a light buy instead. She did get one kill though, but got taken out by Polly. It's gonna be the plant going down. Oh! Gets away just in time. Iceberg just got away there. Really close. That wall broke like just in time.
Pushing 2 bits. Still, Hunter's Fury getting deployed, slows it down even further. I think KMO has about 20 seconds at this point. They need to make it count as Zengi pushes in, he gets shut down. Tarathiel finds Mayhem, and all that's left is Polly. 1v2, it's 2 angles to look out for. No way she splits herself in half. Of course, Tarathiel will be the one to cut her down though. 4-4, and Alter Ego Celeste, dude, we're seeing it. It's the give and take. They're going in with a tango. I take one, you take another step back.
1 for 1 right now, and Iceberg with the jiggle movement there, really buying time for Tarathiel to get a free kill on that 1v2. Great teamwork there by AE Celeste, but this game is really so close, and it's just really insane.
But in the battle of attrition though, take a look at the economy marquee.
It looks like they're both poor.
Well, I want
Okay,
to say that
they
Ayumi
have a
can
little bit
buy
of
up.
extra cash on a Celeste. Iceberg can still buy a gun. Ayumi still has enough to buy her own full gun, but I think KMO are gonna have to cede this round. But you know, after they give this round up, the next round they're gonna buy up yet again, and they're just gonna give a Celeste a run for the money yet again. It's just what's been happening for every single round this time.
I think. Do I want to say that this round might be crucial because if KMO actually won't be able to come back in the next, that's when things will start to change, and you will start to see AE Celeste coming out on top. So even though this is an eco for Kid My Orc, they cannot slow down at all. They cannot catch a break. It's going to start in about a second, and look at the aggression already coming in from Alter Ego Celeste. Using the Leers so sparingly, just the first one on towards the early half of the site, pushing past pipes now. And we do have Polly on the Blade Storm, but it gets ultimately denied by the counterpart, Ayumi. And now they have control over screens too.
Yeah, AE stands for A every time Celeste. But Cine is gonna take that headshot. Iceberg gets taken down and it's looking a little bit dicey for them, but Ineri takes the first frag. Krathel gets another. Okay, that's a flanker taken down, but Fluffy does have a Vandal in her hand. She's been lethal, but Ayumi does have the hot hands this time around, and AE Celeste get the 5th round on the board, and KMO, they don't have that much cash for this next round.
That's what I was worried about. So, at the very least, looking at the scoreboard, a Yumi with a 15 and 7. That's
Still 450 ACS for her.
It was 491, only dropped down by about 40
10%?
points. Very exactly, dude. It's so strong. And aside from that, can KMO actually come back? So they will be able to buy back full utility as well, with the exception of the Zengi with 1 shock dart instead of 2. I don't know.
And Mayman with light, but I think they could be okay with that. But AE Celeste, let's see if they can keep the pressure going.
I like pressure, but I don't like what Polly is feeling. Missing the turret, I mean the drone at the very first part, and then having to dash away. They get information, but now the push comes in towards A again. I mean, you're seeing them spread out so evenly, but every single one of them has the potential to frag out. Tarathiel goes in, she finds Maimum. It's going to be a 4v3 as Polly finds one on the other side of the map as well.
Yeah, Neri actually got taken down there. They played like everywhere in this map this time around for side of AE Celeste. Ayumi is the one with the hot hands for this map though, not Ineri yet. Although she's been putting in the work, but Ayumi has just been absolutely stellar for this icebox.
You know what I think? It's Ineri's just there to clear, you know, be the first one on site, create space, as it were. And then Ayumi's the playmaker to actually find a frag. She finds this one as well onto City. 4v2, and they're trying to make their way onto site, but it just won't happen. Polly gets shut down. Zengi coming in from screens. She's really low as well, and look at that.
Yo.
Even if she found the frag on towards Iceberg, that slow orb would have kept her trapped in that one spot. Alter Ego Celeste just have layers on top of layers.
Hey, Ayumi is pulling her combat score up yet again. It's 476 now. That's, I mean, from 450 to 476 in one round. That means she got quite a few.
Almost 2 kills every round.
Yeah, almost 2 kills every round. She's just really insane right now for the side of AE Celeste. And 6-4 right now. This is the first time there's a 2-round lead for two. Oh, it's about to be 3 because it's an eco round for KMO.
I was just about to say that, and you put the words right out of my mouth, Marky. This is where we start to see Alter Ego Celeste coming out on top. I mean, I'm gonna call it a bit early. We might see a 7-5, maybe an 8-4 for this first half, because look at this aggression. Look at how much control they have. The wall comes up, the smokes go in as well. They might lose a Neri, but that's okay because the rest of the squad are still online. The Sheriff's on the other side of the wall. I don't think these fish will be in barrels because they're swimming all over the place. Margot coming in from mid as well now, just finding headshots on top of headshots. It's the triple. She gets shut down by a Zengi, but Tarathiel back from around yellow as well will be taking the win for her team.
Before the switch.
They they were swimming around quite a bit, but Margot found the right moment and just killed 3 in one line there. And you know, I'd just like to point out that Margot, even with that triple kill, look at Ayumi's score. She has 17 kills. And no one in her team is close because she's just taking everything. It's not a knock on her team. There's nothing left. Ayumi is just killing everyone.
There.
Oh man, it's just beautiful. I mean, over in the previous map, on the other side, on KMO actually, it was, I believe, Maymem who was, you know, getting a lot of frags, but here we go. This time, Alter Ego Celeste. We talked about the scoreboard, but we're talking about the same execute again. What does A stand for, Monkey? They're going in towards A, and then Fluffy just plays around this perfectly. It's a maze, and she makes it confusing. She's the Minotaur here. Activates her Empress. 2 members remaining, and I don't think they can push into this anymore.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a pretty miraculous clutch here. Fluffy really bringing out the guns here, making it pretty close half. If this ends in 7-5, that's okay if you're KMO. 8-4 is a much deeper hole to be in, and 7-5 I think is pretty okay. And this is their side pick though. Like KMO wanted to start on defense here, and A Celeste are already had the lead to win the second half.
Spike down A.
Okay, it looks like it's gonna be a 1v5 clutch instead. Margot alone against 5, does not even get one. Fluffy really showing up here, getting that 4K, ending in 5-7 for the first half.
Just perfect. I mean, even if it wasn't a 4K, the first 3 that she got in the round was the pivotal moment that gave KMO this 5th win in the first half. So now, swapping over onto the other side, Alter Ego Celeste, what do you think they'll be able to do? I mean, talk about double duelist. It's almost a mirror matchup with the exception of Viper here. Is that going to be enough to stall? I mean, is Omen going to be enough, that is, to stall KMO's aggression?
On the side of KMO though, they don't have the aggressive smokes. Like, they don't have something that an Omen can do. Like, once the Viper wall is down, that's it. And they're gonna have to live with that, and they're gonna have to try and get into the site every single time with that. So it's kind of like a give and take kind of thing for me. And it looks like for A Celeste, they're okay with a retake here. 1 on B, 2 mid, 2 A.
Well, at least they're calling mid clear. At the very most, they're watching out for a flank. But look at how KMO are actually creeping in. They're not rushing. They're walking slowly. The wall goes up. It's a full 5v5 retake. You predicted it perfectly, Marquis.
Yeah, they're okay. They're okay with this. A lot of teams do this a lot because B is just so difficult to hold on your own, or even with 2 players, because that means A is gonna be given up. So B, it's gonna be a 5v5 B retake. They've broken the wall already, and this is where it starts. The Omen smoke comes down. Izengi and Fluffy and Super Poly get a kill though, but Inari, 2 quick headshots.
1 enemy remaining.
2 quick headshots, but it's enough. What? The snakebite took a little bit too long to travel down from the heavens above, and Tarathiel closes it out with 2 more kills. That's just, I mean, talk about salt into injury, dude.
The smoke really bought them so much time, and I believe there was another wall that came out that kind of shielded the planter there, the diffuser. But wow, that's a heads up round from A Celeste. I didn't even notice that the spike was going down. I was watching the players and I was like, wait, hold on.
I mean, I knew the spike went down, but Mayma's position definitely showed that she wanted to use the snakebite post plant. Yeah. But it took so long just to drop in. I thought that would have delayed the defuse, but what? It's just so sad. It was tragic. Oh, I don't know, man. But, well, Alter Ego Celeste, they have the lead. And along with the lead is momentum. And they're not going to slow down. But Kimai Orc right now going with the same exact setup. They're going to use this wall to get the spike down. Question is, we'll be able to hold it afterwards, though.
Yeah, one panel went down, but you don't want to peek that because it's going to be a bit of a one way. Like, there's only one way for you to get out. Oh, but she's going to get sprayed through. Inari is going to rescue her friend here, but takes a bullet to the head. Fluffy with that sheriff. Super Poly with a frenzy here. It's going to be still a difficult retake for A Celeste. Margot is hurt, and there's a shot there coming. Fluffy is pretty healthy here with that sheriff. Does not connect the shots. But there's a snake bite coming down. She gets another kill. Over heals. Ayumi has the musket. What? Hits Tarathiel with a headshot. Iceberg, meanwhile, on the back. Gets one down. Super Poly is really low. There's a defuse coming out. They're gonna have to stop.
Whoa!
Last player standing.
Zengi and Polly as well. Kid my orc. I mean, you said this earlier on, you know, pulling the carpet from underneath them. This time, I think KMO are the ones to do it to Alter Ego Celeste. Yeah. This is just perfect. I thought that, you know, getting spiked down is one thing, holding is a whole other thing. But the way that Fluffy, Polly, Zengi played this, the rest of the team as well, this is just perfect.
Yeah, that was great post plant there. They moved around a lot as well. They knew someone was coming in from the flank, and winning that round is absolutely crucial because they accelerate their buy round. Now they have 5 rifles.
Begins. Coming back into it though. The Sheriffs were very potent, and now Alter Ego Celeste have 3. Whether or not they can connect the shots is a whole other thing though. Same exact execute. Alter Ego Celeste always A all the time, everything, but KMO have been going to B for the past, I think 3 or 4 rounds.
3 rounds.
Yeah. Cover going. Toxic Screen kind of favors them though. I mean, it is their Viper after all, so it all comes down to these linear duels, and so far Fluffy has been winning every single one. I say that, I just cursed her. Iceberg takes it away. Into a 14-4.
Definitely a curse here. Iceberg takes another kill, gets a 3rd as well. These Sheriffs have been so deadly. There's the pick. Oh, she's not gonna get this. It's gonna be real difficult for her. There's no time anymore, and she's just gonna die to the spike there.
Round loss bonus, and they need it. Kind of I think they have enough for a buy in the next round, but you're just seeing that every single one of them have the potential to frag out, and I'm talking about KMO as well. The Sheriffs are deadly, but when they have Vandals in KMO's hands, it's a lot tougher for AEC to pull off a force buy, a thrifty round even. Unless maybe, you know, they take out the Star Fragger, pick up a free weapon. I just don't see it happening, but here we go, full buys on both sides. This is the round to decide it all.
Tarathiel doesn't actually have armor though, so I'd just like to point it out. But this, you know, this feels like a grand finals to me. Like,
I know. I mean, okay, yeah, it's kind of like a grand finals. Guess what? Kid My Orc, they are top 3. I mean, they are the 3rd ones in the leaderboard. Alter Ego Celeste might have 40 points. Kid My Orc actually have 23. So they're next in line to actually dethrone these girls, but so far they have to make it past players like a Yumi. She goes in with a little bit of aggression, gets taken out. Actually, Marco's the one that gets taken out. Goes in with a peek now and takes Cinny away with a headshot. Immediately tailwinds away, and this slows KMO down so much. 4v3, and they have to retrieve the spike. They're still stuck towards their half of the map. That's around garage, around bottom mid, and AC have so much freedom.
Yeah, that aggression again. The change in tempo. Sometimes someone just peeks B. Sometimes someone peeks B late. Sometimes someone peeks mid. Just keeps the attackers on their toes every single time. And this time around they got caught. It was a 2-for-1, and it's good for them. Like, as a defender, you like cutting down your numbers. Tarathiel gets a little bit more information, peeking the tube there. Yeah, 20 seconds. Like, to see if they can hold this. Iceberg is still on the A side. They see the wall coming up, so it took a while to rotate though. They over-rotated onto B.
Oh no! Iceberg! Oh, doesn't stop it in time, but it's still a 1v3. Fluffy needs to top herself off. She's holding it. She has to back up. Only has 1 Lear to work with. Oh, and unfortunately gets double peaked. A Yumi with the 3rd frag in this round. And now
the reload from Iceberg kind of like killed her there, but you know, she got the kills. Like, the 2-for-1 alone
is enough.
Yeah, it was definitely enough for her. And Fluffy had no way to take the round back. And I'd just like to point out that Fluffy is catching up to a Yumi's kills. It's now about 21-21. She's really been getting those kills left and right for KMO, but AE Celeste, they've restored their lead back to 2 rounds.
And that's the biggest thing. I mean, it might be 2 rounds, it might be 3. Because take a look at KMO's economy right now. Polly's the only one that affords a Vandal, the rest of the squad with upgraded pistols, the rest maybe not even. I mean, you're looking like 2 classics as well. It's very tough. I mean, the adaptations coming in from Alter Ego Celeste, and then Kid My Orc just now kind of starting to lag behind a bit. I mean, this is the moment where everyone in the chat, folks at home, viewers, people in the Twitch chat, you gotta give Kid My Orc your energy. Spam those take NRGs, spam your Susu KMOs or whatever it is, because they need it now more than ever.
Yeah, they definitely need a lot of help right now. It looks like it's gonna be a hero Vandal for Polly. I don't know about this, but I guess if she gets an orb plus a kill or orb and then dies, she has Bladestorm for the next round. I think that's the idea here.
True. That's you know, that's that foresight that I don't have because I'm not a Jet player. But it still is a valid point. But do you think the Bladestorm will be enough for Alter Ego Celeste? To take them down, that is.
It's difficult to say because I feel like with Alter Ego Celeste's lineup, they had the tools to enable Ayumi to get into the site and get those kills. What KMO don't really have is the same kind of like executes that let their Jet just get into the site. So it feels like AE Celeste have had that down to pat. And I don't know if KMO... I haven't seen KMO really do that for the Duelist yet.
It's like almost polar opposites because Alter Ego Celeste, they went A all the time. And in fact, it's a different execute because what you're seeing from KMO is that they used a toxic screen and they cut the site down in half, kind of creeping up and then letting Polly play around sites like maybe sometimes mid, sometimes she creeps up tube, sometimes she's around yellow. But when you're looking at Alter Ego Celeste's execute onto a site, in fact, it's a Neri just taking the bullet for her team, and then Ayumi plays around that. She's not even really dashing in that much, so very, very different, but it's the adaptations from Alter Ego Celeste that put them on top, because once they read the pushes on towards B, that one round that Ayumi actually pushed in towards Garage and found those early picks, I think that was when things started to fall and drop off for Kid My Orc.
I completely agree, and I'd just like to also put your eyes towards Ayumi some buy. That's a Bladestorm buy right there. Classic and Bladestorm, because you know what you do in your Jet? It's a suicide mission. You turn on the Bladestorm, you dash into them, you try to go for a kill. If you have a rifle on you, you're giving that away. And that's the reason why you don't really want to have any guns. Maybe an upgraded pistol at the most, or maybe like a light gun, like a Spectre. Exactly what she's buying right now. Because that's the only thing that you'll want.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
Okay. Ayumi, what are you doing? I'm scared.
She's trolling me right now.
Oh my god, if she actually does swap on over to the Guardian.
Yeah, so
we haven't seen a Guardian at all, I think.
No, but do you actually know that there's a player that went all the way to Radiant just using a Guardian? I forgot his name. I think it's
I saw a tweet, I think.
It's the guy with a fish on a chair as his picture. I'm pretty sure his name is Fish and Chair or something like that.
That's one of those things that is quite ridiculous, but I don't think we'll see that too much. I hope at least in FSL. No Guardians yet, but maybe soon enough. At the very least right now, because of this technical timeout, I'm not sure who DC'd or anything, but nice little heart shapes. We also saw the little bunny spray coming out from Margot. I think that's for her teammate Tarathiel. Again, I have to say, Tarathiel, you put this in your bio, so I'm calling it out. She loves those rabbits, but here we go. It's Ayumi. She's hopping up. She's hovering away. She finds the first frag, and then now the second. The Bladestorm is happening so beautifully. It's a triple. Is she going to get the quadra? No! Margot, in fact, though, will be there to support her. Triple for you, double for me.
That was... I told you, that's a Bladestorm buy right there. That's an easy Bladestorm buy for her, and you know, Polly does not get the charges for the placement that she needed. She got one charge, but she needs a second. So she needs to get an orb if she wants to go for the blade. Oh, she actually got blazed from. Oh, she did get the kill onto a Yumi, I believe. Or was it Fluffy? Anyway,
sure.
she does have the Blaze Storm, but she also has the cash for a full buy. But Celeste, the biggest lead in this match right now.
Has her operator. You talk about a big lead. The operator is the biggest lead that I can think of on a Yumi. And she goes in for the peek in towards mid. Now already in towards yellow as well. Fluffy might be able to creep past it, but can she actually keep leaving out? Oh, she can.
They weren't watching that smoke that closely.
And that might just have cost them the round. Maybe.
Yeah, that
Empress
smoke
activated.
That smoke from Margot. There was a point where they actually didn't see the cross there, and that was a victim of timing basically. And there's the res onto Polly as well, so it's gonna be a 5v4 retake. And there's two Spectres on the side of Celeste.
They have to be very careful about how they approach it past yellow. That's the thing. Toxic screen goes up and that helps them tremendously. Fluffy's going for the operator. What? Misses her flick and Margot finds a double because of it. Oh no! 4v3 now and they can't get the spike down. The aggression is coming in. Aneri might get turned off. Shock dart through. Margot misses. It's going to be Maymem who swings things back into her team's favor now. But keep in mind, spike dropped.
Oh, there's a Viper's Pit.
Void? 20 seconds and Iceberg is hiding just in it. She finds the frag. That is. But gets traded immediately. 1v1, 15. Way up the corner, she finds the headshot, and Tarathiel drops dead. Kid My Ore coming back into the game, but that's still a round differential of 2.
Yeah, that's definitely that smoke from Margot kind of led to that first kill from Fluffy onto a Yumi, really taking out an operator. But Fluffy, with her own blunder, dropping that gun for the operator there out in the open, was a bit too dangerous for my taste. But for Celeste, they still have some cash. That's a judge on a Yumi though, so not completely full of cash here.
Still a judge holding
on
this
B side.
angle? My God. And she hears the footsteps as well. They have to be very cautious about how they approach this. Do they even check it though? Fluffy already
Margot is
gets
just
past the
bait
other
here.
side. Exactly. I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. She dashes away, gets caught out though. Ooh, it doesn't pay off. But
The
still,
damage is
has
done,
been
though.
Done. Exactly. 3v3. You put the words right out of my mouth, Marky. I love this. They're going into it, but they're perfectly read by Alter Ego Celeste. Now they're kind of stuck in towards yellow as well. They're going to eat a couple more shock darts. Wall up. Do they want to rotate? Yes, they do.
It's actually a wall to run away. Oh, that shock dart is just gonna stare in the face. Pings her twice. Wait,
Picked up the alt orb.
is it fake?
No, Aneri has this perfectly read. Might be a fake, but because she has line of sight down mid, she knows that there isn't a single rotate coming up from Kid
Wait,
My Orc.
why is Iceborg?
30 seconds
okay,
left.
she wants to move to mid. I see.
I don't see a situation where Kid My Orc wins this unless they take these duels head on.
Yeah, they're gonna need to take the duels. They're watching the backstab too, but Aneri gets the first kill. Oh.
Cine turns things back. 15 seconds though. Has to get it planted.
Last player
Iceberg
standing.
coming up with a big flank, but this doesn't even matter. Tarathiel from Snowman finds one. Looks for the second now. Goes in for the big reload. Look at that, dude!
That's
She
team play
reloaded,
right
peeked
there.
Down, and then Iceberg comes in from the back. Perfect team play.
That's just team play. She just needed to survive in Snowman until Iceberg completed the full rotate.
Yeah, I mean that's why. So she reloaded, and then when it sidestepped, a little jiggle peeked it. It baited the shot out, and it's just buying time for Iceberg, like you said, to rotate all the way around fully. This is the stuff that makes Alter Ego Celeste so good. Ultimate and perfect trust in each and every single teammate. 11-8 now, and because of the
it's an
economy.
eco.
Exactly, might be a 12-8.
Get
Yeah,
out!
I like taking words out of your mouth today, it seems,
I love
but
it too, man.
it's just gonna be so difficult for KMO to take this round. Yo, and Aries not scared. She saw 3 people there. Okay, now she has to back off.
Well, she backs off into the other side, and now Fluffy
Backs
punishes
off
her. Good
into
read.
their crosshairs, so
Well, still though, they might be able to retrieve the weapon, but this is information plenty for AEC, and they have it perfectly read.
One
Lock and
enemy
key.
remaining.
They're just twisting it all over the place right now as Seraphio finds the 3rd frag. A little tap from Maven though, that's just icing on the cake. But she will not be able to take this 1v3 because look at how low she is. Even has a frenzy. It's not enough, I don't think. They just baited it. And again, it's another play of teamwork.
yep. They got the orb too, I think. Did she complete it?
I think so.
I think she did. Yeah, and gets the last kill as well. They have the res too, AE Celeste. They're in a really good spot right now. Oh look, it's a shorty. This is Ayumi is tens right now. Unless the shorty operator is the way.
And that's why I wanted to talk about too, because they are big fans of Sentinels because of their consistency. In fact, many teams, many people call them the Cloud9 White of FSL Valorant. I think they're the Sentinels of FSL Valorant because they're really consistent as well, dude. But here we go, match point. Kid My Orc looking to push in towards A. Toxic screen will not hold, and Neri goes in just to resist them a little. In fact, she's allowing for Iceberg to go in with a peek along with her, but KMO doing the right thing here, pumping the brakes, slowing things down.
Yeah, trying to change the tempo. Fluffy does not have the Leers, so that's economical problems there. No Leers from the Reyna. It's just gonna make it difficult to get into the site.
Spike down.
That hurts! But the trades come immediately, which is nice from Fluffy, but Aneri just brings it back! As
She missed the dart!
3. And Aneri's coming online. That's a double for her in this round now. 6 rounds in her chamber, and she gets taken out. Margot, the flank will not pay off. Mayhem is on point. Ayumi, last one left alive. Expect the second flanker? No, they don't!
30 seconds left.
The spike
Storm, Blade
is
Storm.
stuck. The spike is stuck.
No way!
The spike
Only way
is
she gets
actually
the spike
stuck.
if she goes up to uses the boxes to jump up or the zip line. She needs to take Ayumi down. She's playing around the positions. Oh, gun versus gun. 12
by time.
seconds.
10 seconds
She
left.
cannot get the spike planted at this point anymore. Oh wait, she actually retrieved it because you can jump up and just press 5 to pick it up. I'm press 4. Well,
Oh, you can do that. Wait.
yeah, within range, but Ayumi just wins it regardless with the Blade Storm. Doesn't matter if she has the operator. Even jumping up, a small movement like that just means that Izangi is going to have to flick
Defenders
upwards
win.
to find the headshot. So, Alter Ego Celeste taking it 2-0, 13-8 on Icebox, 16-14 on Ascent, and they win it all.
I mean, they are still the defending champions, but the team that really seems to be getting closer and closer to AE Celeste is Kid My Orc. They took that map away from them in Open 4. Now in Open 5, took them to a triple overtime and a relatively still pretty close Icebox game. I think Kid My Orc are definitely... You said they were 3rd in circuit points. They really deserve that spot, and they're definitely fighting for that. But between... AE Celeste, Kid My Orc, Galaxy Racer, Oasis Gaming, and currently Renatus White. It seems like we have some competition going on.
We really, really do, and that's why watching FSL is so great, so good. And it's also, I want to just shout out real quick, thanks to our sponsors, Intel and Yahoo. That article that Yahoo did on AE Celeste was brilliant. I mean, during the break, you guys can go and read that real quick, but what a game, man. What a match. I mean, all of these tiny little things, but yeah, just to point out real quick, I think it was a Zengi, was she the last one alive? Basically, within range, you don't have to walk over the spike to pick it up because you can just, I don't know, my use button is bound to 5. So if you press use within range, you can actually pick it up far away. So good enough. They managed to pick it up, but after getting it planted, no, can't hold it. It's Ayumi, and she knows how to play around these positions just perfectly.
Yeah, she had the tools basically to win that round. She had the operator, the shorty, and the blade storm. And unfortunately, that spike being stuck there, that was a result of all the way to the very beginning where Iceberg killed the sage on top because of that smoke, that angle that you mentioned on generator. It all stemmed from that one single play, that one single moment where they got that kill off, and from there, that was just a victory for a Celeste. So
Okay.
it's just you see it, right? Like one small thing that kind of like affected the whole game, the whole round there, and ultimately winning the round and dashing the hopes of Kid My Orc. But they're not out yet. They are in the lower bracket still, and they can show us another one of these. If they reach the grand finals, I'm gonna be excited to see Kid My Orc versus a Celeste again.
It's just awesome. But you know what? This is the second Thai team, third if you count Oasis Gaming, that has gone up against AE Celeste and lost. Still though, Susu the TH girls, because I want to see them. They're improving again and again. It's really really good. But that's gonna be that for this AE Celeste versus Kid My Orc game. Coming up next, Galaxy Racer versus Renatus White. That's after this break. We're going to talk about it real soon. Don't go away, guys. It is dinner time, so top yourself off, get some snacks, get a drink or two, and we'll be right back.